Released in 2023, Pseudoregalia is a Metroidvania mainly focused around platforming and movement abilities. You have a jump, flip, high jump, air flip, wall kick, pogo, and most importantly, slide and wall cling. The slide has a lot of secret abilities with it, like slide chaining, ledge canceling, and huge side flips. And the wall cling makes you go up and gives you like 6 free uses. I feel like that one explains itself. Now, while the whole moveset is extremely free flow and fun, you have to find these abilities, hence the Metroidvania tag. And by design, to beat the game, you need at least one of these last 2 abilities. And I thought to myself, how badly do you really need them? Hi, the name's Gladiated, but you can call me G. And this is Pseudoregalia without slide or cling. The rules really explain themselves. Rule 1, never pick up the slide or cling, and Rule 2, collect the 5 major keys and beat the final boss, the princess. Anything else that happens anywhere else is free reign, and that includes switching the version of the game to an older one. The current version adds a few quality of life things like, a map, and nerfs the slide a bit, so we're not losing much. And with that, we can start our journey. Progression starts just as any other players would. Grab our weapon, break some walls, do a tight jump, and go get the slide. Right, no slide. So, not counting the room where you get the slide, there's only one place we can go from here, which requires the slide to duck under. So now we're stuck. If not for the secret breakable wall right here, ain't that nice, it's a dark room. Can't go nowhere else anyways. There are 2 ways you're able to go from here. Go to the Twilight Theater or the Underbelly, and I decide to head to the Underbelly. But right as we enter, there's a room that most normal players might miss, and with a few jumps here and there, we get Ascended Light, which lets us see in the dark. Oh, so now but more importantly, lets us poke off of enemies and flames for extra height. Now that we're able to do a little bit more than nothing, first order of business is to head to the Empty Bailey, which acts as our hub, more or less. Thankfully, there's one more power-up we can pick up without needing a single other movement option. Sunsetter, which not only lets us ground pound into a super high jump, but lets us aerial backflip for a little extra height. Now, these tools we have are great and all, but they don't let us access hardly any major keys, if any at all. So now we're stuck. Well, the only other movement option we can pick up is the wall kicks. Small issue, you need the slide. Well, some unique platforming, and let's see if we can reverse engineer this. We can't reverse engineer this. So now we're stuck. No shot. So whether it be an oversight, or laziness, or not caring because who's going to try to get this room without the slide, clipping out of bounds is possible. Now the room that is storing the kicks is 2 rooms away from this one. Thankfully, I know how clipping works. Kinda. F11 lets you change the game from window to full screen, which in a normal game does jack shit. But if you're already clipped into a wall, it lets you clip out of it, which is a game problem that I'm not even going to attempt to explain. Thankfully, the door frame between these 2 rooms is solid and stays out of bounds. But from here, it's not very possible to reach anything to hang on. Hanging is a term that I made up just for this, so now it's going to be called that. When you're standing on a surface that is a ceiling or a wall, you'll do this glitchy animation, and this is the game trying to clip you back in bounds. And truly, it's up to the game's whim if you stay out of bounds or not. But doing this little dust animation here means that you touch the ground, giving your air action back. But from the door frame, we can't get any higher than we are now to hang on to anything. So now we're stuck. No key access, no dice. What happens if I get the wall kick upgrade? I get 1 wall kick. I'll take anything I can get. Please tell me I can get it. Please tell me I can get it. Please. Yeah, I can get that. I can get that. Okay. Now, does that let me go anywhere? Nope. Back to hell it is. Years off of my life. Okay, we get to do just about everything now. The first key ain't far from here, and some tricky platforming here and there, and boom, number 1 down. Let's go do the Underbelly key. It ain't far from this one. How do I can't get that. So the way you do this room normally is having a combination of power-ups. A charge attack from the way we came, and a wind shot found in the Twilight Theater. Issue, and stop me if you've heard this before, we can't access it without the slide. There are currently no more movement options we can pick up, so what we have is final. And if we can't access the wind shot, we can't access the major key to beat the game. So now we're stuck. Well, this is where the version matters. Not that far from the charge attack room, there's a little slit in the ceiling that was removed in the map update. for obvious reasons. It's a hot spot for speedrun jank and just overall jank. Stop, pause. This area gives me an opportunity to talk about wall kicks. When Sybil, that's her, wall kicks, because her legs are huge, the developer, Singular, made her wall kick hitbox huge to match, but made it a little too big, so it reaches behind her. So even if you're facing away from a wall, you'll kick off of it. But because of how the game handles wall kicks, you'll actually jump towards the wall, because it flips the direction that you press the wall kick, despite the fact that you can drift with it. Meaning you can kick away from the wall again, which jumps against the wall, letting you do it again. So a few of those and an F11 to get back in bounds, and boom! Step 1. Step 2 isn't nearly as hard. Just go grab the power up in its normal spot, run on back, and bing bang boom. Second key. Third key we probably had access to a long time ago, but never bothered to get it. So third key, yippee. Fourth key is trapped in this cage in the Twilight Theater. Hitting 3 switches will let us open this cage and get the key. One of the switches was the area where we got the wind shot, so it's plenty doable. The second switch is an area that seems not great, but it's not too bad since we have 4 wall kicks now. Now the third one, that's a problem. To access it, we need to get to the other side of this room. In theory, it's pretty easy. Wall kick off these 4 platforms and go to the next room. Issue. Gaps are too big. Best you can get to is the third pillar before running out of juice. I tried damn near everything. Any tiny clippage I could find, any minor movement improvement, even trying to grab these ledges on the ceiling to reset my movement options, but nothing worked. So now we're stuck. So I did the only thing I swore I wouldn't. Check the Discord. Oh, that was fast. So it turns out this room over here has these sword enemies. And I kind of just assumed that they wouldn't want to leave this little room they're in. But no, they are bloodthirsty. It turns out these Honedge are immune to poison, so they could just hop along this toxic sludge all they want. Remember that little Pogo upgrade? And the fourth one presents itself. Now for the final key, which is right in front of the final boss, so it felt fitting to save it for last. Nothing's really stopping us here, just a few strange looking jumps and we reach the top, grab the last key, and face the princess. Huh? Have a good one.